Episode 73. Nan Shen's face turned dark when he realized that what he had done was nothing more than what a stalker would do. Well, at least he did have his own reason to follow Tanhua like this. It's all for the sake of his company. It's all right. Go to Hampton Court Maze. I want us to arrive as fast as we can. Nan Shen put aside his phone before he asked the driver to take him to the maze. He had already had lunch on the plane, so he could go straight to the maze. Lan Yanjin could wait. He wouldn't let this man convince Tanhua to cooperate with the Lan family company. Yes, master. The driver, who was from the Nan family, quickly nodded his head and started driving towards Hampton Court Maze. While Nan Shen was heading toward the maze at full speed, Tanhua and Lan Yanjin had already arrived. Wow, so this is Hampton Court Maze. It's a natural maze. Tanhua's eyes sparkled in excitement as she gaped in awe. She looked at the giant maze made from natural plants in front of her and couldn't help but get goosebumps. She had often seen mazes like this in movies, but had never actually visited one. Now she had the chance to go inside the maze. She was excited. Min, I think we will be inside the maze for quite a long time. How about we get a snack first? I'll buy you a burger. Lan Yanjin glanced at his wristwatch and couldn't help but want to fill his stomach first. The maze was quite large, so he bet they would spend a lot of time exploring it. They hadn't had lunch yet, so eating a burger as their lunch wouldn't be bad in this kind of situation. All right, let's eat first. Tanhua also felt hungry, so she followed Lan Yanjin to buy burgers at the stall near the maze. Poor Lan Yanjin didn't know his decision to eat first would end up benefiting Nan Shen instead of him. 30 minutes later. Okay, let's explore this maze. Tanhua excitedly dragged Lan Yanjin with her to enter the maze. Of course, they entered the maze after they paid the fee. Maybe it was Lan Yanjin's luck, or it was already afternoon, but the maze surprisingly wasn't crowded with tourists. There were only a few couples, aside from them, who had also entered the maze to explore it. It's so quiet here, Tanhua looked around, and all she saw were tall walls made from bushes. The walls were about 2-3 meters high, making anyone who walked past them feel like they were inside a maze. There was still a passage between the bush walls, wide enough for 3-4 adults to walk at the same time, making the whole area feel vast for the visitors. Yep, there aren't many people visiting the maze at this hour. Okay, now we have to choose which way to go. Left or right? Lan Yanjin stopped walking when he saw the maze had split into 2 paths. They could choose to go left or right. If they chose the wrong path, they would just meet a dead end. If this happened, they would have to walk back to the starting point and choose the other way. This was the fun of exploring the maze. One choice would determine the rest of the journey. Let's go to the right. Tanhua didn't think much about this, so she quickly decided to go right. Even if they met a dead end, they would just have to go back to the previous place and choose the other way. Okay, let's go. Lan Yanjin chuckled as he enjoyed every bit of Tanhua's cute expression. If they had arrived at a secluded area in the maze, he would try to hold Tanhua's hand naturally. Man, Tanhua nodded her head as she turned right, following the passage. Lan Yanjin walked beside her with a smile on his face. He wasn't enjoying the maze, but rather he was enjoying his time alone with Tanhua. At the same time, while Lan Yanjin and Tanhua had already made their first decision, Nan Shen had just entered the maze. He didn't see Lan Yanjin or Tanhua, because those two had already turned to the right and were out of his sight. Let's see, where is Tanhua? Nan Shen thought to himself as he looked at the phone in his hand. He was using GPS to find Tanhua's location since he was sure Tanhua would be wearing the necklace he had given her before. He had just remembered that he placed a mini GPS inside that necklace, and this was the right time to use it. To the right? Nan Shen looked at the blinking blue dot on his phone. The blue dot indicated that Tanhua had chosen the right path when they encountered the choice. Should he go to the left and chase after them? No, he didn't want to meet Lan Yanjin if he could. He would want to disappear with Tanhua in the maze so Lan Yanjin would be left alone. In that case, he should go to the left side and wait for them to come to the left path. But what if the right path is the correct one? They wouldn't come back here. Let's see what he should do. Wait. He could find the map of this maze on the internet, right? Maybe he would be able to see which way he should choose to avoid meeting a dead end. Nan Shen quickly opened his phone to see if there was a map of this place online. His guess was right. He did find someone posting the walkthrough of the maze so people could conquer it easily. Oh, I'm lucky. Nan Shen smiled when he saw that the right passage led to a dead end. It meant Tanhua and Lan Yanjin would have to come back to the left passage sooner or later. Nan Shen didn't waste time and immediately ran to the left passage. The road on the left was quite long. At first, Nan Shen only needed to walk straight, but then he had to turn left again since the maze forced him to. He needed to stay at the other junction to be able to meet Tanhua. But this road, why was it so long? He hadn't found another junction to hide. It was still a one-way road. There it is. The junction. Nanshen was so happy that he almost shouted when he finally found another junction. This time it was a three-way junction. There was a quiet, secluded place where he could actually hide. So here we go, according to the map, he needed to turn right to go to the right passage. Going straight or turning left would only lead to a dead end. Now, where should he hide? Nanshen looked around and finally found a small space between the bushes where his body could fit. From there, he could easily reach someone coming from the right passage. Oh, he could meet Tanhua like this. He just needed to wait for her to come, and he had to distract Lan Yanjin so that he would leave Tanhua for a moment. Should he trick him? He got an idea. Nanshen smirked as he typed something on his phone, and the moment he sent the message, he sighed in relief. Now he had become more of a stalker, and soon would be a rescuer instead. He better have a good reason for doing this, or Tanhua would be scared, and his plan to block Lan Yanjin from getting to her would fail. At the same time, while Nanshen was carefully laying down his plan, Tanhua and Lan Yanjin had just met a dead end. They could see the bushes blocking their way a few meters before they actually stopped right in front of it. This is a dead end. Tanhua's shoulders slumped as she saw that the passage she chose led to a dead end. If only she had chosen the left passage. Tanhua's eyes dropped down and her temple wrinkled, making her look exactly like a dejected dog with its ears down. Seeing Tanhua suddenly get dejected just because she chose the wrong path, Lan Yanjin couldn't help but want to pinch her cheek. She looked so cute. Lan Yanjin subconsciously stroked Tanhua's head as he comforted her. Don't worry, we only need to go back and take the left passage now. Let's hurry. Man, Tanhua nodded as she turned around, followed by Lan Yanjin. Both of them headed to the left passage. This time, they walked a bit faster since they both wanted to finish the maze soon. Wow, this passage is so long. Just like Nanshen, Tanhua looked around in awe as she commented on how long the passage was. They still walked around, following the path, yet hadn't found another junction. Yeah, it's so long, there are junctions ahead. Lan Yanjin pointed at the three-way junction in front of them. He was already bored seeing green bushes everywhere, but now they found 3 junctions. He couldn't help but feel happy. You're right. Which way should we choose? Tanhua ran to the center of the 3 junctions as she looked around at the other passages. This time, there were 3 ways they could choose. They could go straight to the passage in front of them, or they could go left or right. Which way should they choose? Let's choose. Lan Yanjin was about to give his guess when his phone suddenly rang, interrupting him. Lan Yanjin grumbled and took his phone, only to see that the caller was his right-hand man, his secretary. Is there something important for the secretary to call Lan Yanjin? Couldn't help but think. But for his secretary to call him, it must be something important, maybe something related to his company. He couldn't talk with Tanhua here. Tanhua, I'll take a call for a bit. You wait here, don't go anywhere, okay? Lan Yanjin quickly walked toward the straight path to take the call, leaving Tanhua behind at the center of the 3 junctions. The moment Lan Yanjin left, Nanshen, who was hiding near the 3 junctions, smirked. He knew Tanhua wouldn't stay still and would probably come his way. Now, let him meet her. Just like what Nanshen expected, Tanhua did end up not staying in her place. She curiously looked at the right passage and, feeling that she might need to inspect it a bit, the girl moved from the center of the 3 junctions. This passage seems like the right one, Tanhua thought silently as she walked toward the right passage. Whether it was fate or not, Tanhua walked closer to the bushes where Nanshen was hiding. Seeing the girl was already so close to him, Nanshen didn't waste time and gently pulled Tanhua to the gap between the bushes, covering her mouth. Tanhua's heart almost stopped beating when she felt someone pull her to the bushes. Her eyes widened in shock, and her lips trembled in fear. Who is this person? How could someone… Wait, is this a prank? Being pulled into a secluded place like this? Tanhua's mind raced. She was so afraid that this unknown person might harm her. She wanted to shout for help, hoping that Lan Yanjin, who was still talking with someone over the phone, might hear her. But unfortunately, before she could scream, a hand covered her mouth, making her only able to let out a soft, mumbled sound. Tanhua tried to break free from the hand, pulling her butt, then heard a familiar voice whispering next to her ear, adding to the shock she'd just received. Sheesh, stay still, it's me. Nanshen whispered to Tanhua's ear as he loosened his hand from covering her mouth. Sweat dropped down from his forehead as he tried to make Tanhua stop struggling. What if Lan Yanjin found them? And Nanshen? Tanhua mumbled faintly, as she tried to turn her head, wanting to see if it was really Nanshen or not. Tanhua's pronunciation when she called Nanshen's name was a bit muffled, as her mouth was still covered by Nanshen. He could only raise an eyebrow in amusement. Yes, it's me. Now, don't move. I can't let Lan Yanjin know you are here. Nanshen pulled Tanhua closer to his chest, reducing the distance between them. The girl's back was now pressed against his chest, and her face was right next to his neck. See, could you release me first? Tanhua's heart skipped when she realized how close she was to Nanshen. She didn't have time to think about how he ended up in London, or how he was in the same place as her. Promise me you won't shout, and please speak softly. Nanshen didn't immediately release his hand from Tanhua's mouth. He still wasn't sure that she wouldn't shout. Mon M, I promise. Tanhua nodded eagerly, looking up to see the man who was coincidentally looking down at her. Bathump! Wait, they are too close. Tanhua could even sense Nanshen's breath on her face at this distance. She saw Nanshen's face from up close and couldn't help but blush. The warmth she felt was all coming from the man near her. Okay, their position now was extremely close. She felt like her heart might explode from the heat. There, now be quiet. I can explain. Nanshen turned his face away from Tanhua as he released his hand from her mouth. His ears reddened a bit, realizing how close they were before. He could even see Tanhua's sparkling eyes looking directly into his. They were so beautiful, like diamonds, but at the same time, they made him feel a wave of guilt. If only he could regain all his memories, maybe he would understand his feelings for this girl. So why are you here? And why did you pull me into the bushes like this? Tanhua took a deep breath before asking Nanshen a bunch of questions she had been wanting to ask him for a while. She actually wanted to move, but Nanshen was holding her waist, preventing her from moving even an inch. If this wasn't Nanshen but someone else, she would have already kicked them away. I came here with Mishu and Ren Yuan to stop Lan Yanjin from coaching you into going to their company. I did this. Yeah, I just want to separate you from Lan Yanjin. He's a very shrewd guy, and I don't know what he might do to you. Nanshen didn't bat an eyelash when he blurted out those words. His face was serious, as if what he said was completely true. No one would think that his answer was actually a lie. He even gave Tanhua a solid reason for why he was here, making her accept this excuse, even though she didn't fully trust it. So what are we doing now? Tanhua raised her eyebrow, waiting for Nanshen to tell her what they would do next. It was impossible for them to hide forever like this, right? She would die from embarrassment. Not to mention that their bodies were still in such close proximity until her skin touched Nanshen's skin. She would feel incredibly embarrassed if they stayed like this for long. Just wait until Lan Yanjin goes to find you. Nanshen tightened his grip on Tanhua's waist, making the girl's heart beat faster than ever. Why did they need to wait until Lan Yanjin was gone? Was he some kind of dangerous person they needed to hide from? Believe me, he will do something to you if I leave you alone with him. You know he has feelings for you, right? Nanshen stared into Tanhua's eyes, trying to convince her. He knew that Lan Yanjin would somehow try to get closer to Tanhua when they arrived at a deserted place. Fine, let's wait for him to go first. Tanhua sighed, seeing that Nanshen likely wouldn't let her go. She actually had a feeling that Lan Yanjin might try something, since this maze wasn't crowded. So, there was no harm in obeying Nanshen. While Tanhua was hiding with Nanshen, waiting for Lan Yanjin to leave, Lan Yanjin himself was speaking in a serious tone over the phone. You say that Nanshen is offering business cooperation and will share the Louvre brand with our company? Lan Yanjin raised an eyebrow after listening to what his right-hand man said. That Nanshen, who always looked so confrontational every time he saw him, now wanted to offer a business contract? Wasn't this suspicious? Yes, boss. But young Master Nan wants you to meet him face-to-face to discuss this. Or he will cancel the offer. Lan Yanjin's right-hand man wiped his sweat carefully as he conveyed the information he had received from Nanshen's personal secretary, Wu Yin. Tell him I'm in London right now. How can I meet him face-to-face? Lan Yanjin grunted in dissatisfaction. He was indeed tempted by the offer to share the Louvre brand, but still, he couldn't believe Nanshen would want to share his money tree. Tanhua would soon be able to run her own company, and although she would still give Nanshen's company the right to open a new branch, she might not need him anymore. If that was the case, wouldn't it be harder to bring Tanhua under his company? What Tanhua needed was resources since she didn't have the money yet, but she would obtain it soon. Very soon. That's why, if he wanted to get another contract like Nanshen's, Maybe being an investor for Tan Hua's brand would be a way forward. Nan Shen's offer was worth considering. But boss young master Nan says he's busy, so he couldn't wait for you to come back. He also won't come to London. The man over the phone fearfully conveyed what Wu Yin had said. Little did he know, it was just a bluff. Nan Shen knew Lan Yanjin wouldn't be coming back to London anytime soon, just because of this. Even though the offer was tempting by nature, Lan Yanjin wouldn't believe him. What's with that condition? This Nan Shen just wants to show off that he has a contract with that brand, right? Don't call me again. That man just wants to provoke me. Lan Yanjin was huffing and puffing as he turned off his phone, almost throwing it out of frustration. That Nan Shen, he just wanted to show off and remind him that Tan Hua would always have a relationship with his company. Well, just wait until Tan Hua fell in love with him, Nan Shen wouldn't have anything left. So, Tan Hua Lan Yanjin was all smiles as he went back to the center of the three junctions, only to find an empty place, with no sign of Tan Hua. Tan Hua? Lan Yanjin's face went pale as he looked around and shouted, trying to call her. His heart almost exploded on the spot when he saw that Tan Hua was nowhere to be seen. Where is she? He had already told her not to go anywhere. Wait, don't tell him she already went ahead? Leaving him behind? Let's call her. Lan Yanjin's face was red from the panic, but he still thought clearly. He immediately pressed Tan Hua's contact number on his phone, which he had just gotten from the girl herself. Hearing Lan Yanjin shout, Tan Hua couldn't help but look at Nan Shen with worry in her eyes. Did they really have to make this so dramatic? It was quite fun, but also a bit cheesy. Hand me your phone, now. Nan Shen had a feeling that Lan Yanjin would try to call Tan Hua to ask where she was. But if Tan Hua's phone rang, wouldn't they be found out? No. His plan to separate Tan Hua and Lan Yanjin was already perfect. He couldn't fail now. Here, Tan Hua quickly handed her phone to Nan Shen, but at the same time, her phone vibrated. A phone call. Feeling her phone vibrate, Tan Hua's heart almost leapt from its place. Usually, right after her phone vibrated, there would be a ringtone, the Barbie theme song one. Seeing this, Nan Shen didn't waste time and immediately turned off An Hua's phone as the last effort they could make. They had to turn off the phone. Where was the turn-off button? I'm a Barbie girl. Ba-thump! Nan Shen broke into a cold sweat when the ringtone leaked out a bit before he managed to turn the phone off, making the ringtone vanish. Even though they were safe now, they couldn't sigh in relief yet. That Lan Yanjin. Did he hear the ringtone just now? At the same time when Nan Shen turned off Tan Hua's phone, Lan Yanjin vaguely heard a Barbie song coming from somewhere in the right passage. Could it be? Lan Yanjin thought silently as he cut the call. He didn't hear the Barbie theme song anymore, but for a second before, he heard the first sentence of the lyric. How could there be a Barbie theme song when there's no one around here? Don't tell him. Lan Yanjin got suspicious with the Barbie theme song, so he began walking toward the right passage. He didn't believe Tan Hua would leave him behind so suddenly. There must be something. She could be in danger. Lan Yanjin's steps rang throughout the quiet maze, alarming Nan Shen and Tan Hua, who were still hiding in a small gap between the bushes. They knew that the Barbie theme song had been heard by Lan Yanjin. But for that man to come here just because he heard a Barbie theme song. This man's intuition was sharp. Won't most people just think it's nothing and walk away? What should they do? Nan Shen, can't we send a message to Lan Yanjin using my phone? Tell him I left him behind to go to the toilet. Tan Hua whispered to Nan Shen, not realizing that her breath brushed against Nan Shen's neck, making him shudder. Oi, oi, if this isn't a temptation, then what is this? That's a good idea. So unusual for you to be this smart. Nan Shen pushed Tan Hua to face away as he fanned his face, feeling awkward that the girl didn't realize what she had done to him. He was a man too, okay? Being left alone with a girl, especially one so close to him right now. Who wouldn't be tempted? Good. Wait, you mean I'm stupid all this time? Tan Hua's face brightened, but when she realized that Nan Shen wasn't praising her, but slightly mocking her, she almost stood up and exposed their location to Lan Yanjin out there. Stay still. Nan Shen grabbed Tan Hua and stopped her from moving around. If the girl moved, it would create noise. Nan Shen glared at Tan Hua as he quickly snatched her phone back before opening it. The man himself didn't realize that he actually knew Tan Hua's phone password. Tan Hua, seeing this, couldn't help but be dumbfounded. Nan Shen had lost his memory, so how could he remember her phone password? Wait, it didn't seem like he remembered it. It was more like he did it subconsciously. For Nan Shen to subconsciously remember her phone password. It would be a lie if the man never had strong feelings for her, right? Tan Hua's heart beat faster, thinking like this. It was impossible for her not to feel dejected when Nan Shen rejected her like this. But witnessing this, she knew she couldn't give up. Somewhere deep down in Nan Shen's heart, he still had feelings for her, a strong one. She just needed to bring out this feeling so he could recover his memories. Where is it? While Tan Hua was lost in her thoughts, Lan Yanjin had already arrived right next to the place where Tan Hua and Nan Shen were hiding. Sensing someone stop near them, Tan Hua and Nan Shen looked at each other's eyes and suddenly stopped moving. They froze in place as they silently held back their breath, afraid that even a single sound would alarm that guy. Damn it. Lan Yanjin is too curious. He even pinpointed which bushes had the Barbie theme song ringtone before. Fortunately, he'd already sent a message to Lan Yanjin. Now go. Go open the message and leave this place. Both Tan Hua and Nan Shen were praying for Lan Yanjin to open the message and go, but the man didn't seem to notice he had just received a message, or maybe. The signal was bad, and the message was delayed. It's around here. Lan Yanjin turned his body to scan the bushes where he had heard the Barbie theme song. He was afraid that Tan Hua might have left her phone there when she was in danger. Oi, oi. Why is this man still not leaving? Nan Shen cursed Lan Yanjin in his heart. Noticing the man didn't leave but lingered in the place instead. Feeling curious, Lan Yanjin stretched his hand to uncover the bushes, hoping he might find Tan Hua's phone there, or maybe Tan Hua herself lying unconscious there. Don't come. Go away. Don't come. Right when Lan Yanjin was about to brush aside the bushes, a notification rang from his phone. Ting. Lan Yanjin stopped abruptly and quickly checked his phone. He had a feeling that it was Tan Hua messaging him. Yanjin, sorry I left you. I had to go to the toilet. It's an emergency. I'll meet you later at the entrance of the maze. Lan Yanjin's jaw dropped in shock, his eyes widening as he saw the message Tan Hua had sent him. It wasn't that he didn't believe it, but for a girl to speak like this. Tan Hua. She really was incredible in a weird way. Lan Yanjin couldn't help but chuckle before moving away from the bushes. He believed that if it was Tan Hua, she would leave him to go to the toilet. Maybe the food she ate before didn't suit her stomach? Poor her. Lan Yanjin didn't hesitate to walk away, following the right passage after reading Tan Hua's message. It would be a lie to say he wasn't disappointed that he couldn't spend time with Tan Hua here, but it was all right. He still had a lot of time after all. 5 minutes later,